Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So student, in the previous class in this chapter, that is atoms and molecules, we were talking about the different types of atomicity, in which we have seen the diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic. We have seen the atomic mass, that how can we find the atomic mass of an element, as well as how we can find the molecular mass of a given substance. So in order to find the molecular mass, student, we must know the atomic mass of that particular element by adding the atomic mass of the different element which is combined, which is present there in a compound, and or we can say the number of atoms after multiplying with the number of atoms present in it with the atomic mass, and then adding all the atomic masses of the different element. That will help in giving the molecular mass. So suppose I already had given an example of it. So suppose you want to know about the molecular mass of a H2O. So for that we must know here hydrogen is what? That is atomic mass of 1, and number of atoms of the hydrogen is 2, plus oxygen is what? That is 16. So it will be 2 plus 16, that is equals to 18U. Okay, so the number of a water molecule present in it is what? That is 18U. Okay, similarly you can take a lot of different examples are there, student, in which we can find the molecular mass. The question of the molecular mass, it will be asked many times, so you must know how to find the molecular mass of a given compound. Okay, so here you can take any of the example, any other example, student, like NaCl is there. So NaCl, in case of a NaCl, the number of atoms present here is just 1 Na and 1 Cl, and the atomic mass of this sodium is 23, plus atomic mass of the chlorine is 35.5. So what will be the total mass or the molecular mass here? It will be 58.5. U will be what? Will be the molecular mass of that given element. So we can say here by this that an atom or a molecular mass of a given molecule can be found easily with by simply adding the masses of the different atom and then combining it, by adding it, and then we will get the answer of it. Okay, so this is how we can find the molecular mass. Now, not only this, student, this is also called as a formula unit mass. So, I'll tell you that how it is called as the formula unit mass. See, when we talk about the molecular mass, or we are saying here the formula unit mass, in both of them, the thing common here, that is, there also we are actually using the formula, and here we are seeing the number of the molecules. So suppose if we will talk about the formula unit mass, let me write the definition of the formula unit mass. Formula unit mass is what? It is the sum of the atomic masses of all atoms in a formula unit of a compound. In a formula unit of a compound. Okay, sum of the atomic masses of all atoms in the formula of the compound, that is called as the formula unit mass of a given compound. Okay, now the formula unit mass is basically used. The formula unit mass is used for those substances whose constituent particles are ions. Okay, formula unit mass is nothing but it is what? It is basically we can say that this is for those substances whose constituent particles are iron. Like right now we have just discussed about NaCl, student. So in case of a NaCl, the atomic mass of that of the sodium is 23, while that of the chlorine is 35.5, and the answer that we get here, the formula unit mass that we will get here is 58.5 U. So we can say here that formula unit mass is also nothing but that is also a molecular mass, where we will add all the atomic masses of the atom in a formula of the given compound. The formula of the given compound, whatever the formula is given, we will simply going to add all the atoms which is present here, the masses of the atom, and by adding we will get the answer. Formula unit mass is what this is basically used when the constituent particles are ions. Okay, so the two ions are there. When you mix the atomic masses, when you add the both of the atomic masses, we will get the value of the formula unit mass, students. Okay, lot of a question will be asked regarding that. Now we were talking about here another thing, student, and that is ions. Let me tell you, ions are what? These are nothing but they are the charged particle. It means ions are also divided into two. One is cation and another one is anion. So, ions. Ions are generally are of two types. The one is cation and the other one is the anion. So, these are actually the charged particle, right? Now, what happened? The particles they used to, the elements they used to, the atoms they used to either lose the electron or they gain the electron. Like if we talking about the cation, student, so cations are what? These are positively charged particles. These are what? These are the positively charged ions. Positively charged ions formed by the loss of one or more electron loss of one or more electrons from an atom. So, cation is what? It is nothing but it is a positively charged ion. Like suppose, students, here a sodium, it loses one electron and become Na positive. So, when an atom it loses electron, it will get a charge here and that charge is the positive charge. So, the positive charge ion is called as cation. Now, if we talk about the anion, students, there are a lot more examples are there, like magnesium is there. So, magnesium, it will form Mg2 positive plus 2 electron will also get released. It will also get loosed by that of the magnesium. Then calcium is there. Calcium will loses, it will CO2 plus and 2 electron will be loosed here. Okay, it will be lost by that of the calcium. So every time when the atom loses electron, it will get converted into a positively charged particle that is called as cation. Okay, now let us see what is anion, student. Just opposite to this, when an atom, it gains electron, that is anion. So anions. Anion is what? A particle when loses, instead of using here the term particle, we will going to use the atom. So we can say here a negatively charged ion. It is a negatively charged ions, and is formed by the gain of one or more electron of an atom. So negatively charged ion is there and it is formed by gain of one or more electron, that is called as a anion. So cation we have seen when it loses the electron, that will form the cation, and anion when it gains electron, it will become anion. So let us see here, in case of the anion, suppose a chlorine is there. So when this chlorine will accept an electron, will gain an electron, it will form chloride ion, that is Cl minus. Similarly students, if we talk about the oxygen, so oxygen also gain electron, it gains 2 more electron in order to become an oxide ion. So in both of the cases student, you will see that since it is accepting the electron, that's why it becomes negative charge. So when it accepts electron, it becomes negative charge, and that negatively charged ion, which is formed by the gaining of one or more electron of an atom, that is called as anion. So when it loses electron, it will become cation, but when it gains electron, it will become anion. Okay, so I hope you have understood that what are the ions, what is the charge, and what is the how the charge is formed here. So a cation is formed when the electron is lost by the atom, and when electron is gained by it, that will form the anion here. Now, before we go and try to understand the next topic student, it is really very important to know about a term, and that is valency. Although the valency, everything is given in structure of atom, which is the next one, but you must know here few things about the atom and the valency. Why we are going to discuss about the valency, even though we are knowing that it is in the next chapter? Because the next topic is what is the formula making. Means how can we make the formula of a compound. So for that, you must know the valency here of the different compound. So valency is nothing but it is the combining capacity of the element. It is defined by the combining power or capacity to combine or capacity of an element. So basically it is defined as the combining power of an element, or it is called as the capacity of an element to combine to any other element. That will be called as a valency here students. Now moving on, depending on the valencies, elements are also classified into monovalent cation, into divalent cation, into monovalent anion, into divalent anion. So let us see here what are the different types of a element. Depending on the valency elements can be classified as following. The first one is monovalent cation. Monovalent cation. Monovalent cation is what? When an ion, which is a cation actually, having only one positive charge. It means it is having only one valency. So we can say, see, the number of a charge which is present in a particular element also defines the valency. So here we can say monovalent cation is what? Having cationic valency of 1. Having cationic valency of 1. For example, sodium ion, which is Na positive. Then potassium ion, which is K positive. Then hydrogen ion, H positive. So sodium ion, this is what? This is sodium ion. Then potassium ion and then hydrogen ion. These all are what? They are, since they are having the positive charge, so we will say that they are what? They are monovalent cation. Then if we discuss the monovalent anion, students, so this is the cation. Now let us see the monovalent anion. Monovalent anion having anionic valency of 1. Having anionic valency of 1 is the monovalent anion. For example, chloride ion, represented by Cl minus. Then bromide ion, represented by Br minus. So chloride ion or bromide ion or any kind of a halogen consisting of only one charge on it. Next one is divalent cation also. Divalent cation. So having cationic valency of 2. Having cationic valency of 2. For example, magnesium ion, Mg2 positive. Then calcium ion, Ca2 positive. Okay. Then ferrous ion, represented by Fe2 positive. Fe is what, student? That is the formula of a iron. Okay. So Fe2 positive. So here the cations are having 2 charge on it. That is why it is the divalent cation. Similarly, if we see the divalent anion, So divalent anion. In case of a divalent anion having anionic valency of -2 charge on it. For example, oxide ion, which is O2 minus, sulfide ion, which is S2 minus. So one is O2 minus and other one sulfide, which is S2 minus. Similarly, trivalent is also there, students. So we will see here of trivalent. Having cationic valency of 3. Having cationic valency of 3. For example, aluminium ion. Aluminium ions. That will be equals to Al3 positive. Then ferric ion is also there. Ferric ion represented by Fe3 positive. Okay, so aluminium ion is Al3 positive, ferric ion is Fe3 positive. So this is the trivalent cation. Talking about the trivalent anion, so there also a lot of examples are there. Having anionic valency of -3, and that is nitride ion, and 3 minus, and phosphate ion. PO4 3 minus. Okay, so phosphate ion is there, nitride ion is there. These all are what? These are some of the examples of the trivalent ion. Similarly, a lot of different types of a cation or anion is formed simply by losing or by gaining electron. So these are some of the anion and cation, student. There are different kind of, and these anion and cations, the charges present on it is actually telling the valency. So if it is having plus charge, so valency will be 1. If it is having -1 charge, then also the valency will be 1. If it is having +2 charge, so valency will be 2. If it is having -3, so valency will be 3 here. So we have seen here that H2 positive there, so valency, H is positive charge only, so valency will be 1. Oxygen is 2 negative, so valency will be 2. Fluorine is 1 negative, so it will be 1. Aluminium is 3 positive, so its valency will be 3. Carbon is 4 positive, so carbon valency is 4 here. So whatever the charge it is having, sulfur. So sulfur is also having 2 negative, so the valency will be 2 here. Sodium is there +1, so it is having the valency, that is 1. Calcium is there, which is +2, so its valency will be 2. Magnesium is +2, its valency will be 2. So we can say here whatever will be the charge present on that particular atom, that we are going to decide the cation or anion here. Now here one more thing that we must know about it, that is, students, not only this, but there are some of the ions, like they are in a combined form, like sulfate ion is there. So SO4, it is having the charge on it, that is SO4 minus. So the valency of the SO4 is what? That is 2. Similarly, if we take an example of a hydroxide ion, hydroxide represented by O and H. So the charge which is present here, it is what? That will be equal to -1. So the charge is present here -1. So valency will of that of the hydroxide is 1. This is hydroxide ion. Hydroxide ion. And this one is what? Sulfate ion. One is sulfate ion, the other one is the hydroxide ion. Phosphate ion. So PO4 3 minus. So this will be equals to the number of a valency of this phosphate. It will be 3 here. So the charge which is present here, it is -3, and the number of the valency is 3 here, students. Similarly, we can take another example like phosphate. We have seen we have carbonate like CO3. So CO3 is also -2 charge. So the valency is also equals to 2. Okay. So whatever will be the charge which is present here, we are going to decide the number of the valency of the given particular atom. Okay. So I hope you have understood the uni one as well as the multi or the binary molecules. Now, why we are studying here the valency, student? In order to form the formula of a given compound. And to make the formula, there are some rules that you all must know. To know the formula, it is very important to write the valency, because once you are able to get the valency, it will be very easy for you to find the kind of a formula or what is the formula form of that of a given compound. So, first thing here that you have to write it, that is, write the chemical formula. I will be going to write the rules which is involved here later in the next class. Till that, you must know what are the things that you are going to write here. So, formula of, suppose here we are making the formula of a hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride, the formula is HCl. HCl. So here the hydrogen chloride is what? We will write here, first of all we will write here the symbol, and then we will see the valency. Symbol and then valency. The symbol is hydrogen, and here not only the hydrogen is involved, but chlorine is also involved in it. So, hydrogen and the next one is the chlorine. Now, the number of electron which is present at the valence shell or which it loses to become cation is the +1 charge. So, the valency of the hydrogen will also be equals to 1 here. Okay. So, the valency of a hydrogen will be 1 here. What about in case of a chlorine? So, chlorine also need one more electron to combine or to become stable. Okay, so in order to become stable, it need one more electron to complete its shell or become stable. So, it accept electron, it donate electron. So, here the valency, but both of them will be the same, that is 1. Remember here, it will form +1 and this will form -1. But here when we are going to write the valency, we never used to mention the charges present on it. So, we can simply write here that it will be what? The valency will be the 1 only. It do not depend upon the positive or the negative charge. So, we will not going to mention here the positive or the negative charge. So, next step is we will crisscross each other the valency of each of them. So, it will become H1Cl1 because one will going to multiply with this hydrogen and one will going to multiply with this chlorine. So, it will become H1Cl or we can say here HCl. So, the formula of the hydrogen chloride, that will be equals to HCl. So, this is how we can find the chemical formula.